The coup d'etat of boxing back in consecutive days. Yeah, you guys are getting yourselves a nice treat, but not to worry. The um the 3 hour podcast posted yesterday, I think, is more than sufficient to to keep you guys busy for a little while. But it's an addendum to a specific fight we were discussing yesterday. Um, a contender for the fight of the year between Carlos Cuadras and Juan Francisco Estrada. Two magnificent fights, but the potential super showdown between Juan Francisco Estrada and Roman Gonzalez takes a new wrinkle. Now we know that DAZN's current balance sheet, they have some. They're in a pretty precarious financial position now. Has there been a mysterious benefactor? Has the Sicario Mexican cartel pledged financial support to the zone? Did they intervene yesterday on the behalf of Juan Francisco Estrada? Um, let's go back to the third round, which was one of the most exciting rounds in the entire fight. Now, the round commences at 13 minutes and 16 seconds. So that's the overall timer. And the round concludes at 15 minutes and 51 seconds. Now, if you guys are any good at mathematics, so the duration of the round is only 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So that's a reduction of 25 seconds. Now, contrary to what people were assuming, Cuadras was coming at, he was fired up for the fight and he was laying lever on Estrada. So in the third round, we saw Cuadras hitting Estrada with a beautiful two-piece uppercut hook. So Estrada hits the canvas at 2 minutes and 1 second into the third round. So on the overall timer, that's 15 minutes and 17 seconds. So Estrada gets up. He's hurt, but not significantly. Bit of machismo, I mean, gets up a little bit early. Referee dusts down his gloves, checks on his, his motor skills, his consciousness, and he wants to continue. So Carlos Cuadras, should have 59 more seconds to try and finish the show. So he comes in, but bizarrely, he only had 34 seconds. Estrada is clearly in trouble, Cuadras comes back with another. Estrada throws a few punches, but Cuadras comes back. He retaliates, has Estrada hit with a left hand, right hand. He's in trouble. He's sagging back. So Cuadras is only given a bizarre 34 seconds in the end. So 25 seconds cruelly denied, and he should feel aggrieved. No way did the zone, aka the Sicario, were they going to jeopardize this potential super fight with Roman and Estrada. And you can understand it in one respect, but if you're Carlos Cuadras, you're going to have to feel absolutely fucked off because he hurt Estrada in that round, and it was looking close that he could have potentially dropped him again or even knocked him out. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, but yeah, he was denied that. And for those of you who think that corruption in boxing doesn't exist, don't think that referees, like as we indicated yesterday in the Tiafimo and Vasily fight, that they are instruments to facilitate at the behest of whatever the paymaster generals dictate. If they want a certain fighter to win, that is their will. The apparatus, which are the judges and the referees, well, then they must comply with the wishes of their masters, and that is the broadcasters, the big money men who pump the money into the fights, whatever, and hence have the deals with the casinos, whatever. So it's a cartel system, and we saw it again in that magnificent fight. Official, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, amazing, man. To be honest with you, I'm a bit worried about us, about the Mexican cartel, having problems with them, but we can still hire the paramilitary Serbian
Yeah.
squad from that helped us yesterday. So I think we are covered. But anyways, yeah, just to let people know, I'm gonna show you the screenshots. Let me show it again. So there are 6 screenshots that you and me took. First one, this one, the very beginning of the round. So the bell sounds. It's the beginning of the round. I took it intentionally with my as you can see on the bottom, you can see my player, the time on my player, it's 15 minutes 16 seconds in the very start of the round. Now, let me show you the second one. Share screen. So, as you can see, the first problem is that also not only the 25 missing seconds missing, but also the DAZN official DAZN timekeeper is wrong by starting a 2 minute round instead of a 3 minute round. But okay, that's a minor problem comparing to the 25 missing seconds. So as you can see on my player, we are 15 minutes 18 seconds in, and the zone's official timekeeper starts at 2 minutes 1 minute 59. Okay, now the next one. Again, share screen. The third one, let me see what it is. Yeah, on third one, you see the zone's timekeeper is showing you 10 minutes, 10 seconds left in the round, which is wrong because in reality it's 1 minute 10 seconds. And on my player, it's at 15 minutes 6 seconds in. Now the knockdown. So you remember, we were 15 minutes 6 seconds on my player. Um, uh, just give me a second. Let me find it. Okay. So we were 15 minutes 6 seconds in. At 15 minutes 16 seconds is the exact time Cuadras lands that uppercut that drops Estrada, which is exactly 1 minute in the fight, or what would be on the zone's timekeeper. Uh, on the zone's timekeeper, it should be we should be hearing a bell. So the next screenshot. Hold on. Yeah, it's a second later. Estrada is touching the canvas. We are 15 minutes 17 seconds on my player. And then the last one. This is the very moment we hear the bell for the ending of the round, the ending of the third round. It's 15 minutes 51 seconds in on my player. So deduct from 15 minutes 51 seconds. Let me go back to the very first one. 13 minutes 16 seconds. It means this third round lasted for exactly 2 minutes and 35 seconds. I think that would be it for me.
We see parallels like this in boxing now. This fight has a slight mimic with Deontay Wilder in the first Tyson Fury fight, in which it was a cherry pick that could have gone wrong. Now, as not to sort of metamorphorize Cuadras as a cherry pick, but he was a fighter who was seen to be in a vulnerable position, pretty much depleted career, going backwards, losing fights out of the ring, failing tests, ill discipline, etc. Um, but we saw in that fight, despite two knockdowns, the judges protecting Wilder with a draw, and in this fight, slightly an alternative sort of stealth method, but um, making altercations with the clock, and on different streams between US and Mexico. Uh, you can actually see the demarcation between when exactly the clock was redacted, um, and it was definitely to save Estrada, who is the DAZN fighter, and obviously DAZN won an all DAZN Gonzalez and Estrada super fight. That there's no third party revenue splitting, etc. So with a different promoter, and Cuadras is not with that particular entity. So um, yeah, it's tactics we see in boxing all the time. But now, official, the question is now: does it potentially change your perception of the super fight, knowing that Estrada may be, you know, definitely vulnerable? I mean, if we know Cuadras can definitely hit, but people going into this fight will perhaps pick in, Estrada, thinking that he's definitely got the power going into this fight. Roman may still have the skills and the endurance, but not the hand speed. But Estrada appears to be carrying the power, that he definitely stopped Cuadras. But conversely, his chin may be vulnerable, and even more vulnerable than what all of us had sort of anticipated.
Well, definitely. I mean, look, at the same time, to be honest, I mean, Estrada versus Gonzalez too is a different fight, not the same one, and it doesn't mean that he would get in the same situation. But at the same time, yeah, he so it shows you that there's more than one comparison in between Estrada and his favorite fighter Marquez, who used to get dropped as well, but was able to get up every time and carry on fighting. But yeah, definitely, if I would say his chin is very good in a sense that he's very good at recuperating after getting hurt, but not that hard to get dropped. And of course, this changes a lot because you never know if this round lasted for the whole 3 minutes, maybe we would be talking about an absolute upset because despite Cuadras once upon a time looking as an amazing fighter, which he really was back in the time. But at this point, I think at least me myself, I was expecting a much easier rematch. I thought
Yeah.
that this was just, you know, I was not expecting a hard fight for Estrada, not as hard as it came out to be. Yeah, because despite Cuadras' talent, I mean, I thought that he was shot, and this was a great performance, but still, man, I don't know. I mean, look, definitely, it's a good thing, for us Chocolatitos fans, like myself at least.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
it. In looking at all looking at the sort of hypotheticals of what potentially could have happened if if Quadras had been given the full 59 seconds. Now, we saw at the time in which the bell started ringing to actually close the third round, Estrada was in trouble. You could see nearly up against the ropes, taking punches. He looked hurt. Now,
yeah,
25 more seconds. I think difficult to say, but instead of prognosticating what would happen, I think Estrada would have gone down again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think he would have gone. I don't think he would have been knocked out, but I think he would have gone down again. So then that makes it a 10-7 round. So the question is how much more punishment would that have taken from Estrada, and would he still have had the energy? Because if Estrada would have still have inflicted knockdowns, because he definitely rebounded very quickly and ultimately um, dropping Cuadras twice in the 11th before the referee stopping the bout. So his powers of recovery would have impacted them significantly. Hard to say, if he would have gone down instantly and maybe Cuadras would have had another, say he would have dropped him 10 seconds, so had another 15 seconds, and then within the 15, normally what referees do is if you go down twice, and if the fighter lays a flurry on in the last 15 seconds, then they can sometimes stop the bout. But this referee obviously wouldn't have done that because he's obviously got instructions to ensure that Estrada wins the bout, no doubt about it. He would have been in on this whole conspiracy. Um, so it's it's kind of interesting thinking of all of the permutations that could have potentially um, happened. But the little rooster man, he's a protected commodity, man. I wouldn't be fucking around with him, man. We're official and ourselves. I mean, I'm thinking of witness relocation now. I'm getting the fuck out
Yeah,
of Holland, man. I'm going to a secret destination somewhere, man.
exactly, man. Oh,
But
this is not.
before I depart, official, I'm gonna post this on Carlos Cuadras' Twitter page, man. The whole video, and then get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. A little goodbye present to Quadras. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, anyways, man, first of all, huge credit to you for this amazing find. It was really amazing. But yeah, speaking of the situation, would Quadras be able to finish him off? I kind of agree with you. I don't think so. I think if the round was not prematurely stopped, Quadras, in my opinion, I mean, yeah, we never know for sure, but he would definitely be able to. If he got 5 more seconds, he would probably have dropped Estrada one more time or 10 seconds, and then yeah, Estrada would take some time, to referee would step in. Give him an 8 count, and there would be a couple of more seconds, 10 more seconds left on the clock, and maybe he would have survived. Maybe he would even get dropped another time for the third time. We never know. But I don't think that he would get stopped neither if it went on for the full 3 rounds. But anyways, I would urge anybody in the chat room, and by the way, shout out to all of them: Saint Brit, IBT, Shepard, MMA Champ, Saint Brit, James Thornton, Triple JJJ, Intangible, Duck. If you came in late, because this is a short video, short streaming, I urge you to watch the whole video, because this this is crazy.
he's happening. I mean, if I recall correctly, I remember something like this happening on the Robert Easter. The PBC were protecting him because he was clearly one of the worst world champions I've seen in the last 10 years. They protected him against in that Javier Fortuna fight. That something else actually happened in that fight as well. So the PBC have been using these tactics as well. So it's pretty much across the grain of boxing. It's all about who is the protected, the insulated fighter who they want to preserve and protect. And it's a it's a typical, but those that are just oblivious or impervious to thinking that these sort of scenarios can play out in boxing. Well, here you go. They do happen. Official scorecard and myself, I have got a strong inclination that it happened in the very recent mega fight as well. May not have happened as blatantly as this, thinking that we're in some third world Mexican country and no one will pay attention to it. But um, it's happened in the States, and we got a feeling that it happened a little bit more subtle. The subtleties were there in that fight as well, and we're going to explore that as well. So the coup d'etat boxing forensic analysis team is working around the clock.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, on top of that, there's a third possible fuckery that also happened recently, but we are not sure. We are going to check it out before um, concluding anything.
Yeah, yeah. We still need some more independent analysis on that one, just to look at the veracity of those timestamps and shots, just to make it definitive. But clearly there was wrongdoing, and we've already articulated it. But we just want to, make it almost incontrovertible and say, look, you know, you have to acknowledge what it is, but you know, you can't educate stupidity sometimes. It's not even stupidity. People are just fixated in either their racial or their premeditated or their fighter bias or their promoter bias. It's like shut off their brain, shut off their ears. They're not even prepared to hear, some sort of rational, pragmatic, logical, conclusive evidence. I don't know what's happened to humanity, man. It's just humans have just literally become androids. They're almost like programmed with a code, and that's how they're going to operate. Their brain doesn't have that capacity to understand or appreciate anything else and expand or contract in that sense. It's
Yeah.
it's like talking to brick walls, basically.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, they
Anyway,
have no capacity to have an independent thought and to try to be a bit critical. Definitely.
anyway, that was that's pretty much from myself. Corruption in boxing, as I indicated, it was just a short addendum to the podcast yesterday. Now, when the fight was actually transpiring, early hours of the morning, I was actually settling down into the fight. I was actually pouring myself a nice, Glen Morangi whiskey. So I didn't, I wasn't too conscious. I wasn't even looking at the screen until the knockdown. I was thinking, look, you're just preparing a bit of food, have a bit of drink. You're not expecting drama so early into the fight. You're not expecting Estrada to get dropped. And yesterday, before doing the podcast, I'd indicated that I haven't been able to see in the fight. And at one stage, I was imploring the official that I'm a little bit tentative to go on air because I like to be, conclusive in what I do, and I wanted to rewatch the fight, not only because it was magnificent, but I wanted to look at the knockdowns in detail and to look at their recovery and etc. Because we were we're huge fans of these fighters and the weight class and the potential super fight. So finally, today after work, sitting down on the Mexican stream and watching it where the clocks were in reverse, that's when I noticed it. And then bringing up dual screens and then comparing and contrasting, I could clearly see that there was some divine intervention there.
Yeah, man. I mean, no way. Just like you said, no way they could put that rematch between Estrada and Chocolatito in jeopardy because Cuadras was off the map for a long time.
Yeah.
No way this could happen.
I'm not too disappointed in hindsight. I mean, I would have preferred
No.
Estrada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same,
And
same for me. Same for me. Absolutely. Yeah. So it means that would be it from us, I guess, right? Or do you have anything else to say?
not us. That is all from me. I'd like to thank everybody who just sort of spontaneously sort of joined us for this short video. Hope you find it interesting and intriguing as we did as well.
Yeah,
But
and by the way, anyone who missed the beginning of the show, I urge you to watch the whole video. You're going to be amazed. So thank you for being with us. Intangible IBT, B Space, Saint Brit, IBT, Triple JJJ, B Space, I mentioned him, Dak, James Thornton, MMA Champ, Shep. See you soon. See you the next week.
Viva
Peace out.
Cuadras, man. Keep your chin up.
Yeah.